YouTube, what it do? FadeMasterLos here, live and direct. And today I got a good one in store for y'all. Ball fade tutorial. This is before. This is how he was looking when he came in. As you can see, looking a little rough. But hey, we about to get him right. I'm about to give y'all these steps on how to do it. First step, when you about to cut hair, you need to go ahead and comb through. You need to go ahead and see that pattern, how the hair is growing. Make sure that you know every crevice. Now, my particular client in the chair right now, he didn't want anything off the top. I told him we get the loose ends, but he didn't want pretty much anything off the top. He was fine with the loose ends. So after you comb the hair out, we're gonna go ahead and start placing that bald line first. This is essential when you're talking about a fade. You need to go ahead and know what you're working with. You gotta know what you're working with. Don't try to do no other steps after combing it out besides starting that first line. And since this is a bald fade, that first line is gonna be that bald line. You gotta start the bald line first. Now I don't know what everybody else is saying to do first. We ain't worried about everybody else. The first step needs to be starting that bald line. Once you got everything clear, we're gonna go ahead and pull out that 2 guard and we're gonna open it all the way up. And we're gonna go right up to where you see the crown of the head is. We're gonna go right before you get to the crown, like right where the crown starts. Don't go too high because we're gonna come in, clean that up with a little bit of clipper over comb or a little freehand. Really up to you what you decide to clean it up with. But you ain't gotta go too high with it. Really you wanna be able to smooth it out. After you hit it with that 2 open, we're gonna come back with that 1.5, and we're gonna start working on that first line. Now you could connect that 1.5 to 2 with minimal effort. I see sometimes people wanna go straight to the 1. You could go straight to the 1, but it's gonna take a little bit more effort with your angles to be able to get that line out from the 2. With the 1.5, it's like putting an extra guard in between to make your steps easier and make the cut a little quicker, and that fade a little bit more crisp. But at the end of the day, you could still decide to go from the 2 to the 1. I always like to recommend fading from high to low. It gives you more control of the fade versus fading from the bottom up. After you go for that 1.5, we're gonna come back with that 1. And we're gonna start it off closed and create that next line. Now I know my fade technique may be different than a lot of people, but I'm telling you it's seamless. It's a pattern to it. It gives you control over what you're going to do in your cut. As you can see, we went back to that 1.5 just to clean it up just a little bit. You can see me over there working, getting it in, getting a good visual on it. But yeah, we went back with that 1.5 just to clean it up a little bit, seeing a little bit of things that could have been cleaned up. Notice with just those few steps that we just did, you could already see that the fade is coming in. It gives you a lot of room to control your fade when you go from high to low. Now we're going ahead and take that 1 guard off, and we're going straight open, no guard. And we creating that next line. Now we creating that bottom line, and we can determine how much of a blend we really want by coming with that 1. Notice I skipped over the 0. I skipped over the 0 because if you really good with your angles, you really don't need the 0. But I recommend, because we do have beginners that watch, and we have experienced people that watch. So I am going to incorporate the zero guard in this video, and that's what the zero does. Get that last little bit of line out, and it gives you more room to see what was missed. Give you a lot more room and leeway when you have that zero guard. You can go from open to close. The open is going to catch that one, the close will catch that open guard. And as you can see, we going back and touching up certain areas that needed to be cleaned up, smoothing certain areas out. And that's what it takes, you know, when we're talking about a fade. You can have a proper pattern that you just go by, and you still would need to come back and make sure you hitting any areas that need to be touched over again. As you can see, with those simple steps, we pretty much got the blend all the way in. I like that, the blend all the way in. And he didn't want anything off the top. It's always good to get like any straggler hairs that's sticking up. Make sure it's cool with your client first. You don't want to just go and taking off hair and he say you don't want hair off the top. Of course I asked, would that be okay? So now we go ahead and start working on the line. I did a video on how to do a lineup. If you're a new barber, I always recommend starting in the middle of the head, using those eyebrows as your guidelines for the side of the hair. I know a lot of people want to try to eyeball it, but once you use those eyebrows, it gives you a symmetrical way to look at the head. So as you can see, his eyebrows have a little arch. I'm gonna base that side line off the arch, and I'm gonna do the same on the other side, so I don't even have to look back to the left side to make sure I have both of them even.
Pimp is back.
If you want a more in-depth video on how to do a lineup, you could watch one of my previous videos where I explain how to do a lineup. Also, if you want very, very detailed videos on how to cut hair, and also just information about barbering, products, tools, check out my website at FadeMasterLos.com. That website again is FadeMasterLos.com. And there's a lot of great in-depth tutorials, videos, and also products that you may need to be able to get the best cut possible. Also, if you like the instrumental that you heard, check out my producer. The link is in the bio, in the description. You can go and purchase some of those beats if you like the beats that you hear. Also, I have products that are in the description as well. Take a time to look at those products. These are products that are essential to barbers. They're the highest quality clippers, shavers that you could get at this time. Click the link, check them out. Also, make sure you click that like, that comment, subscribe. We trying to get everybody to the next level. That's what this channel about: teaching, inspiring, motivation. Want everybody to grow. If you're part of this channel, wish you nothing but the best. Let's all be great. Let's all get to that next level. Let's all inspire. Let's all motivate. And let's all become great, legendary. FadeMasterLos here, live and direct.